Okay, we're on. All right, let's do this. Okay, hey guys, welcome. Alex, how are you feeling? Fresh off a plane.
A little jet lagged. Happy to be home and not in Vegas, but was an incredible week.
Awesome. I am looking forward to hearing all about it and all the things you got to see, all the customers you got to talk to, and hopefully all of you are going to be interested in some of the announcements that we're going to share today. So today's episode is going to be all about reInvent 2021, about the optimization announcements that we wanted to highlight to you so that you don't have to go and look at everything, so we can give you the kind of highlights reel and talk about what we're looking forward to, because there's a lot going on there. But we have quite a lot to get through, so I think we should just jump straight into it. So welcome everyone to the Keys to AWS Optimization, the show where we share stories, concepts, and solutions to help you unlock your spend at AWS. My name is Stephanie Gooch, and I am a commercial architect at AWS.
And my name is Alex Head, and I head up our optimization team for strategic industries and get to work with awesome people like Steph on a day-to-day basis.
So please feel free throughout the chat, pop in questions, comments. We want to hear from you. If you went to reInvent, what happened? Did you enjoy it? What did you see? What did you do? Did you get any cool prizes? I'm always interested in people won the prizes that are at the conferences, because that's always what I used to try and do. And also, if you have any questions for us about anything, feel free always to ask it and let us know what you think. But let's get started. We're having some technical difficulties for Twitch. Let's see. Okay, we're back. All right, good. I think we're back anyway. So we'll keep going on, and fingers crossed it's all worked out, which is a good cue for our YouTube channel. So everything we film today, we're popping on our YouTube channel. So on demand, check out the Keys to AWS Optimization, where you can see all of our past series. And today is our last episode of the series. So we'll be back in January 13th. But Alex, I loved watching some of the videos. I loved keeping up to date with the announcements. There were a lot. But how was it actually at reInvent?
Yeah, it was great. I think a lot of people have been hungry for that in-person conversations. And so I'd say one of the best parts was just being on the expo floor and letting customers and partners come up and having those in-depth conversations. I had some amazing conversations with our internal teams too, like the Lambda and the Serverless team. And so a lot of exciting networking. And then I caught up as much as I could on all the exciting announcements coming out as the week went on, relying heavily on people like Steph, and I know some of the team like Rim and Ali are in the comments, so hopefully we can cover about everything that will save you money coming from reInvent. But Steph, what was it like seeing it virtual but knowing that there was also the in-person piece?
Yeah, it was interesting because this year it was good to see what was going on. I was a bit jealous on LinkedIn getting everybody's posts, but it was nice to see kind of the announcements coming through. It was good that I felt like I could see what was going on all together. So we had a bit of a group document that we could put everything in, and so we could stay up to date. So it was good to be able to just like research it and not have to be at reInvent, so you could kind of take the information away and have a look at it. And also like on-demand videos were always good. But there are some still dropping that we'll probably mention. So the on-demand videos are dropping, I think, midnight every day. So if you haven't checked them out, they'll be on for a while. So looking forward to getting into that. But should we start with what announcement are you kind of excited about the most, Alex? What are you looking for?
I'll dive in of my top reInvent. And I probably actually have some questions for you because internet was all throughout reInvent, but that was a lot of people on reInvent, so there were some things I didn't get to test out as much that you probably got to test out a little bit. But session wise, we had one session on the cost intelligence dashboard. Make sure to throw the link into the chat on when we've done that for the Twitch stream. That was a workshop, so that one you had to be in person for, but we had someone complete the entire workshop on their iPhone, which is crazy.
No. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that.
I know.
Jeez.
I didn't either. I didn't either, but that was exciting. And it was nice to get to like walk through that with customers. And then we had some great cost op sessions. One of them, I believe the exact name was cost visibility. Sherry from 3M. I've worked with Sherry since I first started at AWS, and she quoted our show a little bit. I think it was like 18 minutes in, and my line on cost visibility, and how important it is, and how important it was for them and their cultural and shift of getting people to care about the cost and saving the amount of money they have. So that was a really good session to get to listen into. But then on the announcement side, I always like to look for the unique ones that you wouldn't have thought about. Because you guys are all over the ones like, storage and stuff like that. And I want to go into what you saw on the storage front, because that's the piece I didn't really get to look at.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot of time talking to people about the Graviton Fargate announcement, and just the amount of customers that have been experimenting with Fargate, and now it becoming even less expensive. We have on the website an awesome use case from Samsung and their developer portal, how they moved from ECS to Fargate and saved about over 40% alone in their compute costs. So with savings plans and Graviton and more and more people looking at Fargate, I feel like there's going to be some really cool opportunities to save and be more efficient on that front.
Yeah, it seems like such a simple changeover, because I was kind of looking into it, and it's just, you can use things like AWS Code Builder to help you check if your container will be ARM compatible. And it just looks like it's the same with some of the other managed services. You just click a button and you can instantly get savings. And I just love when we make it simple for everyone just to kind of like go in and change it. But I'm looking forward to seeking out some examples for customers and say, hey guys, come check this out.
I'll find the link to that Samsung use case too, because the developers even quoted of how easy and seamless it was to go that way. On the Graviton piece, there's also like a partner readiness program for Graviton use cases. That I have not dug into as much, but I'm excited to see that. And I know I talked to a few of our partners at reInvent about their participation in that. So I think that's going to just make customers' lives even easier to try it out.
Yeah. And so forgive me, guys, all through the show, I'm going to be trying to share as many of these links as possible up on the screen and in the chat. So if I'm looking off, it's what I'm doing. I'm trying to find it. But yeah, that looks like a good kind of getting into program. And sticking with the Graviton theme, I mean, Graviton 3 was announced, which was, I was watching that on the keynote and stuff. Went on my TV, set it up so I could watch that. Fun evening. But yeah, and there was I was looking at the use cases as well, and Twitter, which we're streaming to today as well, started using it, and they found a 20 to 80% higher performance than Graviton 2. So just like immediately out the bag, the fact that like massive companies like Twitter are already getting used to it is great.
Now, pricing wise, we haven't released that yet, correct?
Well, it's on the website. I don't know how much it costs, but that's what they've said on their quote. So it's between that. But yeah, it's great apparently for gaming, video encoding, and CPU-based machine learning. So if you have any of those applications running, Graviton 3 is the place to go.
What about storage? So fill me in, because I know I was tempted on my plane, but decided to pick some sleep instead. But I had just started reading about some of the new integrations with StorageLens. That StorageLens in general was a very hot topic with customers. So to give you guys an insight into like what Steph and I's and other people you've seen on the show's life is like at reInvent, we are usually on the expo floor, but then we're also like constantly going in and out of meetings with our customers, kind of just brainstorming, getting that chance to whiteboard a little bit, bring in the product teams and see, looking into next year, what they should look into. And I think StorageLens came up in almost every conversation that we had of, getting those insights and what to do with them and how much you can do with it really without even having to enable the paid metrics. But I did see a headline tagged, I believe from Rim on our team, that there was a new integration with StorageLens. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I think you mean the one with CloudWatch. Is that right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you can now combine, you can see S3 storage lens data in CloudWatch. So it's great to be able to, I think the big thing was, well, two big things. One is that you can now kind of combine the metrics between different applications, if your applications and your S3 lens data into one kind of central location. So you have to dip around and kind of see it all together, which is great. And the other big thing though is you can have triggers based on trends, especially for things like multi-part uploads. And we've spoken about, I think we've done this before on here. If not, we'll probably do it in a future episode about storage lens, how you can see your multi-part uploads and how they can often be quite a big spender for customers without realizing. So when I say multi-part uploads, I just mean, imagine you're uploading a massive file or object into S3. What S3 will do is kind of break it up into parts, but say for some reason your internet cuts out, you don't do all of it, only some of the file will be uploaded, you will pay for that storage because that data is still stored in there. It might just not be your full object. And so you can see this information in storage then. So the fact that you go in and identify it, you could set up things like lifecycle policies to see this. But the big thing now that it's integrated CloudWatch is that you can set up triggers and alarms to see when this is happening. So you can be notified that it's actually happening. It can't just be happening in the background, which is great. Actually telling people that it's happening rather than it just hidden.
So what you're saying is you're going to have a lab that does it all for us, right?
Maybe. I think that's a great idea. I literally put that in our document saying like, maybe we could lab this. So that'll be a nice kind of fun project for probably the new year to kind of look into. But yeah, that'd be great. And also just to dip back in case anybody's joined us in the last couple of minutes, we're talking all about reInvent. It's a reInvent recap Friday here on Twitch for all of Amazon. And so we're highlighting some of the top things that you could look at for costs. So yeah, so that's one for storage. Were there any other ones you noticed or read about when in between running around on the booth?
So Optimizer and Compute Optimizer, I was digging in more to like how that impacts the lab that you came out with for looking into Compute Optimizer data.
Yeah, so the Compute Optimizer, there was two kind of big things that were released. So there's a paid feature and there's also a kind of dashboard feature. So the dashboard feature is a new efficiency metrics thing. So it can actually show you your savings kind of in total on a dashboard. So I actually went on my account and I've already had Compute Optimizer set up. So it's nice. I just went on and it was already there. So if you've already set up Compute Optimizer, you don't have to do anything extra for that. The dashboard is just there. And I'm going to try and this is where I'm going to try and multitask and send some links. But the other thing is there's a new paid feature where you can enable it to do a longer look back period. And so that I think is up to 3 months, which is great for applications that maybe have kind of a month-long process, because before it was 2 weeks. So default 2 weeks, paid, you can do longer. So it costs, it does cost money to do that, and it costs per item that Compute Optimizer is looking at. But if you have a resource that's on all the time, so for a 31-day month, it costs, I got down to 25 cents. So it's not really expensive to have, but just bear in mind that that's like a small cost per month. But if you have hundreds of EC2 instances, that's gonna add up.
Well, it sounds like say that there's like a specific workload that you're really struggling getting, figuring out what to do with, getting those insights. Maybe do it for that instead of across the board, giving that option, because it's also going to be a lot of data. Like that's a big difference in data, and but I think it's important. Some workloads you're going to need to see those ups and downs, and maybe you have stuff that like quarterly scales. So that'll be really helpful for a lot of customers.
Yeah. And it's, like you said, it's good to kind of cherry pick the things. It's kind of like the paid metrics you have on S3 Lens. So you can choose which accounts that you have that enabled on, or like for a small amount of time. So maybe you do run it for like a full month and get the full look back, and kind of cherry pick those things. Also, if you have accounts where you're using things like Instant Scheduler, then as you turn those things off, they will not be monitored. So it's good to kind of be aware of that. So up and down environments are good, or auto scaling groups and things like that, because it does only look at EC2 individually and auto scaling groups. But yeah, it's going to be interesting for the lab, which was your actual question that I looked around. So my lab looks back and collects data for every 2 weeks, because that's what the standard is. So if you don't necessarily want to pay for the Compute Optimizer extended period, you could use the lab, and I'll link to the lab to do that. But it does give you like a nice viewpoint, and it's all collected into one place, so you could see those metrics kind of deep diving into. This is the lab we keep talking about for those optimization data collect lab. Check it out. I love it. It's one of the best things I think I've built. But yeah, that's not the brag. That's one of my favorites. Cool. So yeah, Compute Optimizer. Good. Go check it out. Go check out the dashboard. I think it's the big thing, and see how much money you could be saving, because it's quite glaring. But yeah, what else is there you looking forward to, Alex?
Let's see. Well, there were a couple of points on Compute Optimizer that I wanted to dig into. I think you covered most of them. I'm looking at my notes now, my lovely airplane notes. But also, I know that Graviton 3 is going to be a big difference, but there was other Graviton announcements for things that maybe we would normally tell people to look into savings plans or RIs around. And Ali on our team had a really good point of if you're going to use savings plans or RIs, take a look at what all Graviton options we have right now. See if your use case falls into that, because you want to make that change before you go and make that commit. And so important thing, because I know a lot of people at the end of the year, sometimes like you have that leftover budget and you're going to go make that commit. Double check with Graviton and the announcements that came out that you might be able to utilize those, making it even easier to layer the discounts. So
yeah, great point. So what else we got here? I'm trying to think if there was anything that I really wanted to shout out. I think one. Oh, go on. Yeah, go.
If the viewers could see our notes, they're a little bit all over the place right now. So
so long.
We wanted to make sure that we were hitting everything possible. So we had touched a little bit on sustainability in a previous Twitch episode, and it was announced that there will be a new well-architected pillar in sustainability, and kind of some feelers out there of the exciting things to come and what data and how you'll be able to see this stuff. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's a team that I can't wait to partner with next year. And it was saved for the last day. I was waiting to hear something on it. So a lot of people did come that came by the booth and that we saw were talking about sustainability, and a lot of more of the technical crowd was interested in the details of it, which is pretty cool, because a lot of times I feel like you hear about that from the leaders of a company of we need to be more sustainable, but a lot of the developers are really interested in how do we do this in our environments.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm looking forward. I was also like, oh, the labs. Are we going to add something to the labs to have a sustainability section? Because that'd be awesome. And there was a small kind of announcement I noticed in one of the long form blogs, which was about the where has it gone now? I feel like I've said it and now I've got to find it. That you'll be able to soon, hopefully next year, showcase customers' footprint. I think that's right. Announcement. Here we go. I've got the link now. Customers can see their carbon footprint early next year, which I think is going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I think you're right. If we can, side note for me and Alex, if we can partner with them as optics, that is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for that to go. I think now that announcement has been made, we're going to hear a lot more around it with time to come. I just realized one thing that we didn't touch on are the EBS announcements.
Yes, I was just about to say.
So there's a few around there, and I might be quoting this wrong again. Remember, I learned this on an airplane, but it seems like we have the recycling bin for EBS, and then we have a less expensive tier. Is that correct?
So I think so. I know about the less expensive tier. I feel like I might have missed that one. See what we mean, guys. Even us who our job is to look at all this stuff. There is so much going on. But I definitely have the new snapshot one, which is the archive one, is what I was thinking of. Which is a new snapshot function where if you have, say, snapshots that you do for a project or you want to keep kind of for longer than 90 days, you should put it in the new archive tier. And that way you can save up to 75% on storage for snapshots, which is pretty cool.
Yep. And then the other part was the recycling bin. So essentially you can say, we do need to have this snapshot stick around for a little bit. Don't delete it, and it goes in the recycling bin, and then you can reassess it instead of like having to go through and tag and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, here is the recycling bin.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got same. EBS, that's it. EBS snapshots can now be archived. That is awesome. So these are all great things to look out for. The other kind of storage one that we've got on here, Bryce has just posted, which is his favorite, is the announcement was enabled for instant retrieval for Glacier.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
So they were handing out stickers, and it is the longest name. It was like the longest sticker. But yeah, I think people are excited about that too. I want to look into, a piece of reInvent that we don't necessarily have links to, or something you can go back and watch, are some of the conversations that people are having. So, like as I mentioned, storage lens was a hot topic. A lot of people looking for the easy way from going GP2 to GP3. That was one of the top questions that we got. A lot of questions about the Kudos Cost Intelligence dashboard, and how that can scale in an organization, and so many people using it, which is so exciting to see, being virtual all year and then getting to like see real life people talk about it is pretty exciting. Cost allocation was a hot topic. How do we, kind of mirror some of this data with our internal data and allocate it correctly, and bill correctly, and put in our own methods, method to the madness, I guess. And hopefully a lot of these like data analysis that we've had, like Storage Lens and CloudWatch Insights, will grow into just giving us the opportunity to give you even more insights into that, right? Even more understanding of where each cost and usage is coming from, and making that even more in depth.
Yeah, definitely. The cost allocation thing is, I'm not surprised to hear that, because I think I've had like 6 customer calls based on cost allocation in the last kind of month and a half. It is a hot topic. And so gonna shout out if you have done that, I'd be interested to hear. If like, always feel free to send us an email about your kind of optimization that you do. If anyone's done any really good cost allocation, then feel free to kind of jump in. Talking about QuickSight, you just reminded me of another announcement. Was QuickSight versions for data is now available. So if you're using a lot of QuickSights and you're kind of changing your data and you want to try versioning, then you can turn that on now, which is pretty cool. But I was thinking, and I haven't looked at the pricing, so I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see kind of when you turn on versioning, how that affects your costs in terms of QuickSight data. Because if you're storing multiple ones, then
okay, so
interesting.
This is what I was reading before the call. Give me a use case where we would use that. I don't think I'm fully. So
I'm assuming maybe upload data, because things like Athena and stuff, I'm assuming that you'd have versioning on like the end of it. But maybe if you're doing upload files, that could be it. So I know that there are some customers. So for example, let's say Kudos, for example, if you're putting in extra metadata from your business, so you might be putting in that accounts data. So you might have all the account IDs, all the names, all the business owners and stuff that you keep in a local Excel sheet. You might be updating that and using that to do kind of filters or tagging in your dashboards. If you just wanted to, oh, hello.
Dexter wanted to talk about his favorite announcements before the end of the show.
Oh, bless. See, Biddle had his puppies on. You've had Dexter on. I clearly just need a dog now just to be part of the group. I'm sure my apartment building will be fine with that. Oh, bless Dexter.
There was dogs in the expo hall, and I almost died. It was the cutest thing ever.
What?
Yes.
No. Oh my God.
If anyone follows me on Instagram, I just posted it.
Everyone go check Alex out. I assume is your Instagram the same as your Twitter?
No, actually it's not. It should be. It's Alex Hawkins Head. all one word. Alex Hawkins Head. Just throw it all in there.
Get that Insta promo on there.
Yes.
Okay, so we got 5 minutes left. Is there anything we wanted to shout out before? The one thing we did talk about was are there any videos that you're looking forward to watching? So there was some that we spoke about on our reInvent session before, which was this 8 ways to save costs. That drops, I think, to last night or today. So I'm going to go watch that. I want to see what these 8 things are.
Yeah, I think, I mean, of course, I want to watch the cost ones. I think we helped a lot with some of that content. So I have some ideas around what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm most excited to go and look at some of the customer stories. Right. You know, as I was saying earlier about the Samsung example with Fargate, it's usually when we make these announcements, there are some sessions throughout the day that you get to kind of hear how a customer utilized it. And that is an exciting piece for me. If you saw one that you would suggest, throw that into the chat, because I'd love to see it, or you can comment on any of the videos or anything like that. But I'm also, no pressure to you, Seth, most excited to see now what you go do with these announcements in our labs and make it more accessible for me.
Yeah, me too. That's what we were talking about this. I'm looking forward to seeing how we take this information and share it with customers, and also share it with you. The good thing we have this show, we're looking forward to being able to take, okay, this is how you identify these solutions. A great example is Fargate, so what to look for in those situations. I'm looking forward to diving in. Just a couple of people that have commented. So Rem saying, super excited on the analytics announcements. Great to see serverless expanding. So just to shout that out, there were a couple of serverless announcements. So we had EMR, ESK, and Redshift all serverless now. So if anybody has done that and like takes advantage, again, we always love having guests on the shows as well as customers as well as internal. So let us know if you take advantage of any of the serverless stuff. We'd love to have you on. Email costoptimization@amazon.com and let us know how you're getting on with that. What else we got? Price reduction in S3, infrequent access zone. Infrequent access is also great. So that's another great announcement. And then thank you for this one from Bryce. Almost forgot the big price reduction on our data transfer. So lots of big price reductions from Amazon overall. So these are all good. Again, like there are so many links we've gone through today, and they're in the chat. They're going to be on the videos. What we'll do is on our YouTube channel, we will post. I'll just put the link up again. I will try and put all of these links in the show notes. It's going to be quite busy, but that way you could use that as a resource to go and look through and take that and say, okay, these are the highlights. These are the ones that Steph and Alex looked at and think are important. And so go take that as a kind of a starting board if you're jumping into looking at all these areas. I've also got another one. Price reduction on intelligent also applies to S3 intelligent tiering in respective regions. So nice, lots of really cool announcements.
I think from a direct cost saving standpoint, I think S3 and the Graviton announcements are probably going to make the biggest difference. Like if you're looking for what of these, what announcements came out. But what I would also encourage everyone is whether this might not save you money instantly, is diving into how the different customers are using those things, because it can lead to you saving more than you even thought. So your low-hanging fruit, what you jump on by the end of the year, look into that storage, look into storage tiering, look into Graviton if you want to purchase savings plans on top of that, right? And then like go look at those use cases, see how they have solved problems, and if some of that works for you. We did a lot of industry specific stuff and found a lot of, and our team is industry specific. So we found a lot of cool patterns that work for customers across the board.
Yeah, definitely. I also just thought of another one, and I'm trying to see where it was. What was the other one I saw? Oh, the life cycle. So now, sorry, it's because I keep looking for our document and I was like, oh, this one. The last one that I remembered was S3 life cycle policies. You can now specify the size of an object and there are filters on it, so you can be more granular about when you move stuff and where you move it to. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the last episode of the series for 2021. God, can you believe it? And so we'll be back January 13th. On Thursdays, our normal time slot, 3:30 GMT, 7:30 Pacific. I think is that right? I'm trying to remember the time zones. But catch you all then. Check us out on YouTube for all of our previous shows, and have a good Christmas. That's what I'm going to leave it on. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.
Happy holidays. Bye, guys.
Bye.